Well, is racism on the verge of extinction in America? It's a very provocative question, and a new book suggests that generational differences over race may have improved to the point where bigotry and discrimination based on skin color are no longer relevant. The book is called The End of Anger, a new generation's take on race and rage. And joining me today to talk about this is its author, renowned journalist Ellis Cose, and president of the National Action Network, the Reverend Al Sharpton. Gentlemen, it's great to have you on this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. A pleasure.
Ellis, I want to start with you because in 1993 you wrote another book that was called Rage of a Privileged Class. It did receive a lot of critical acclaim, but in this book you find new optimism within the country. What has changed since 1993 to 2011?
In short, we've ended the caste system in this country. There was a sense in 1993 when I wrote this among even very highly educated African Americans that it was simply impossible to break through the glass ceiling. Not too long after that, you saw a number of breakthroughs. You saw Richard Parson ascend to the top of Time Warner. You saw Ken Chenault at American Express. You saw Colin Powell, et cetera, and then you had the mega event of Obama, which, whatever else it made clear that there was no longer a ceiling for at least some people.
Reverend, do you agree with the assessment that racism is less for the generations to come?
I think that we still have racism, and I think that the racial disparities are there. I think that the way we deal with race has changed, and I think the way we react, therefore, changes. I don't deny there has been progress, but there's still different Americas for people of different races. And I read Ellis's book, which I think is an excellent book. In fact, I was interviewed for the book, and I think that his points I agree with in terms of there is a generational difference in how we respond, but I still think it's a difference. My daughters respond to race different than I do, but my daughters still are treated differently than their contemporaries.
And interestingly enough, I mean, no one that I interviewed is saying that racism has disappeared or that it's extinct. What they are saying, is that if you have the right credentials, if you're lucky enough, if you get into the right networks, you can maneuver around in a way that removes the weight of racism as an ultimate barrier for you.
Ellis, what do you think, though, when it comes to the representation and the role model of the first family that we have in this country? I know that speaking for the kids in my family, for nieces and nephews that look up to knowing this is their first president that they'll remember, seeing the first family, the kids, the daughters that they relate to on an age level, how does that
It's clearly
break down
changing
barriers?
perceptions. It's changing perceptions here. It's changing perceptions internationally. I mean, my own daughter, who's 8, I would go out on the campaign trail, and when I come back, her first question, she was then 6, would be, well, who's winning? Is Hillary winning or is Barack winning? She had no real sense of politics, but she did have a sense that there was nothing unusual about a black person running or becoming president, or becoming president. So that fundamentally changes what people see as possible in this country.
Reverend Mobley, we want to stay focused on the positive changes that have happened in this country. What's to be lost by remaining too optimistic?
If we become optimistic to the point that we're in denial and that we try and to follow a narrative of optimism, denied that there's still things to address, then I think we will end up sliding backwards rather than continuing the progress. I think the election of President Obama was tremendous. I think the fact that others have broken some of the ceilings tremendous. If that is used to lift everybody and that life at the bottom for Americans, black, white, Latino, become the same. If we just celebrate individual success and not turn that into a collective change of society, which I think Ellis...
I couldn't agree more with that.
If we don't do it, it'll be a short-lived kind of euphoria, and I think we miss an opportunity to really make the country a better place.
I think it's precisely right. I mean, I think there is a sense that if we got rid of the caste system, we got rid of the issue of inequality in America. And I think the fact of the matter is we haven't.
Gentlemen, thanks so much for coming on this morning. Ellis Cose, Reverend Al Sharpton, always great to see you.
Thank you.
Alice, great to meet you this morning, and
A pleasure.
Congratulations on the success of the book.